Ladies and gentlemen, here are your starters for Friends University. At quarterback number 3, Cavante Baker. At running back number 2, Caden Rigsby. Also at running back number 7, Elias Pino. Also running back number 21, Adarian Sykes. At wide receiver number 1, Austin Pratt. Also at wide receiver number 8, DJ Pearson. Offensive tackle number 76, Kenyon Vigil. Offensive guard number 71, Cole Herman. At center number 65, Doug Grider. Offensive guard number 77, Kel Stroud. Offensive tackle number 72, Kyrie Watkins. On the defensive end for the Falcons, number 92, Ethan Grimmett. Also at D-line, number 10, Jairo Castillo. At DN, number 45, Barrett Rhodes. Also DN, number 94, DeMarco Sims. At linebacker, number 15, Andrew Arnold. At linebacker, number 8, Cooper Skrobecki. At linebacker, number 12, Tyler Lane. Defensive back, number 7, Brock Zerger. Defensive back, number 5, Braylon J. Defensive back, number 6, Sai Aponte. And finally, at defensive back number 1, Wetu Kalomo. Your specialists today for the Falcons are the kicker number 36, Truett Bocher. Punter is number 7, Connor Tillman.
All right, well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Joel H. Ween Stadium on the campus of Tabor College here in Hillsboro, Kansas. Jim Millman with you tonight. I've got Robert Rempel along with me for the ride.
Hello, everybody. And yeah, it's a good, beautiful afternoon here in Hillsboro, Kansas. The weather is nice, a few clouds. And it's going to be a beautiful day for football today. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about that earlier, that, September, it's normally a lot warmer.
Yes.
Than it is. I guess you got to see me. I'm not sure why that's.
Yeah, I think it's overrated sometimes to show us. There's a reason we are up here in the booth with the radio, or with not with the cameras, but thanks a lot for doing that.
Yeah.
But no.
So
it's go ahead here, Jim.
Yeah, so we've got team comparisons here. The Friends University Falcons are coming in 3-0 on the year. They've outscored their opponents. I have that in front of me. They've outscored their opponents 197-21. They are ranked 8th in the country. And Coach Terry Harrison, alma mater is Sterling College. And then you've got the hometown team, the Blue Jays, coming in under Coach Mike Gardner. He's from Baker University. The Blue Jays are 1-2 on the year, and this will be, we talked about this earlier, Robert, this will be their third straight game against a ranked opponent.
That's right. And, if you look back at the Tabor records also, Gardner has been a part, I think, of 14 of the 16 winning seasons that Tabor has ever had. And Coach Gardner has been a piece of 14 of those. So I might be one off on that, but it's amazing what he's been doing here.
I'm going to take your word for it. So we're going to move on to starting lineups here. First for the Falcons, starting offensive line, you've got Kenyon Vigil. At the left guard, you've got Cole Herman, number 71. Number 65 at center is Doug Grider. At the right guard, number 77, Kel Stroud, and rounding it off, right tackle, Kyrie Watkins, number 72.
In the backfield for the Falcons, you got Caden Rigsby, number 2, Elias Pino, the running back, Edrin Sykes, Austin Pratt at receiver, and DJ Pearson on the other side of the receiving corps.
Starting quarterback for the Falcons, number 3, Cavante Baker. Last week, 4 for 6 for 94 yards and 1 touchdown.
On the defensive side for the Falcons, up front, you've got Ethan Grimmett, number 92, Mario Castillo, number 10, Barrett Rhodes, number 45. Last week, he was the player of the week in the KCAC. At the other defensive end, Demario Sims, and at linebacker, Andrew Arnold.
Continuing defensive starters for the Falcons, linebacker number 8, Cooper Skrobecki. Tyler Lane is the other linebacker, number 12. In the defensive backfield, defensive back Braylon J, number 5. You've also got Sai Aponte, number 6. And Waitu Cuomo, the defensive back. I saw how to pronounce his name, and I still messed it up.
We'll be doing that a little bit tonight, probably.
A little bit, yep.
So, defensive highlight for the Falcons is Brock Zerger, number 7. Last week he had 10 tackles, 2 assists, and
Special teams for the Falcons. Connor Tillman is the punter. Truett Bosher is the kicker, the place kicker. Braylon J will return.
Long snapper,
my bad. Kick returner is Cavante Baker. The punt returner is Michael Lopez.
Starting for the Blue Jays offensive line up front, you have number 65, Keegan Beams. Left guard, Jazz Connerly. Center, Michael Ashland. Right guard, Michael Reed. And at right tackle, Tyler Holloway.
In the offensive backs and receivers for the Blue Jays, Cameron Collier, the running back, number 21. Tight end is Holden Key. One wide receiver is A.J. King. The other, Evan Safeman. And the third wide receiver, Tyson Dozier, number 8.
Starting quarterback for the Blue Jays tonight, Jerome Stewart, number 13. Last week he was 10 of 21 for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns. This will be interesting because Tabor has been playing Bailey, but I know Gardner also talked about a 2-quarterback system. I heard you talking about that at a previous game.
Well, I noticed that because when we had him 2 weeks ago, Bailey took all the snaps, and then last week Stewart got most of the snaps.
Yeah. Interesting
to see that he'll be the starter today.
On the defensive side for the Blue Jays, you have defensive end. I'm going to read this here real quick here. Moe Leatua. Defensive tackle, Mirik Boone. Chris Vixama inside. Darian Gibbs from down the road to McPherson here, number 35. And Dustin Daigle, who is another one. Well, he's from Oklahoma.
Continuing on with the defensive starters, Elliot Lockenmacher, number 45, the linebacker. Did I get that right?
Oh, there was a Meyer, but it's close. I'm going to mess up so many.
Oh, my goodness. Brighton Reeves, the cornerback, number 27. Xavier Michael, cornerback, number 19. Caden Seibel is the linebacker, number 47. And Luke Edwards is safety, number 5.
Highlighted player on the defensive side today is number 2, Cam Pear. So far this season, he's had 25 tackles, 9 assists. And if you were watching Blue Jay football in the last few years, he is definitely someone that's been on the Blue Jay radar.
Special teams for the Blue Jays. The punter is number 91, Broderick Smith. The kicker is Lane Clark, number 81. Makoto Karamatsu is the long snapper. A.J. King is the kick returner. A.J. King is also the punt returner, number 1. So I'm going to guess by your reaction, I got that one at least mostly right.
It sounded really good. I was like, whether you did, and obviously you'll know throughout the game, we're going to mess up some names. We're going to try and get them right.
Tabor won the toss. Elected to defer.
Looks like the coin toss is done. Tabor
Will
won.
receive.
If you didn't hear that on the TV, looks like Friends will be getting the ball the first half, and Tabor will get the ball the second half.
Sounds good. So Tabor's going to kick off. They're in the home blue uniforms with white letters and numbers. They'll be going right to left across your screen.
Tonight's
and the Falcons
officials are
in the
the
away
referee,
white
James
uniforms,
Sullivan.
red letters and numbers. They'll be going left to right. So Robert, we're just about ready to go. What are the keys to the game here for the Blue Jays?
Wasn't that score more points? Is that just the? Yeah. Oh, it's going to be, watching some film of Friends in the last week. Baker, their quarterback, is kind of can do everything, and when you have that threat of being able to run, opens the passing game quite a bit. So, I think Baker and Dingle are going to be 2 big keys for Friends that we have to stop and figure out how to contain them and make some of their other guys do the work.
So if you're the coach and you see this discrepancy here in points, they've outscored their opponents 197 to 21 in 3 games. Are you more focused on defense, or are you focused on trying to keep up, or maybe a little bit of both?
Well, that's the nice thing in college. You have 2 whole sides of it. You don't have to. Your defensive coordinators obviously going to be focused on stopping that run, making sure, forcing the quarterback to throw, because they're just so deadly and fast. They are fast. And then offensively, I think you're going to have to be quick. You're not going to have a ton of time. Get 3 or 4 yards and be happy.
Kick is on the way. Going to go to the near side here, get returned by the Falcons, number 17.
Got a big opening. That wasn't a good.
Breaks some tackles off to the left side, and he is gone. Nobody's going to catch him. I believe that's Connor Tillman.
So, yeah, right away. They called it Jace Martin.
Jace Martin, all right. Well, what we're looking at, we've got 3 number 17s. And I took the wrong one, so I apologize for that. But Jace Martin on the return.
Well, you talk about keys that you just mentioned, too, and special teams can never be left out. That's the other component of the game that sometimes people forget. And that definitely was not a good start for the Blue Jay team.
So we're going to call it a 91-yard kick return to start. Point after is up, and it is good. So right away, before we've run a play, the Friends University Falcons go up 7-0. And again, Robert, not the way you want to start.
No, it's not. That kicker, by the way, was Truett Bozier, I think, for the Falcons. But it's exactly the thing that I know Coach Gardner did not want to see happen. See a replay of that kick here. Here's a big key on the team now. How do you get your team back into it? Because you talk about a motivational mindset. They've got to figure out how not to let them get that down. You said when we started, Jim, about playing 3 ranked teams. A few weeks ago, Southwestern was ranked in the top 20.
Right.
And we played them to the end. I mean, it was the last. We had a shot at the last play.
Yeah, it came down to the receiver and the quarterback weren't on the same page,
Well,
and threw that interception. But other than that, I mean, they were right where they needed to be. And with something like this, you dig yourself a hole right away.
Yeah, and a team like Southwestern's supposed to be one of those that competes well with Friends. So I see no reason why the Blue Jays can't be right up in there. Well, Bosher's going to come out and kick off here, so maybe we can return the favor.
Yeah, I see King all the way in the back here. The kick will go to King. He's going to receive it at his own 4-yard line. Goes towards the middle. He's going to cut up the middle now. Breaks one tackle, but he is brought down by number 2.
Gobert? Gobert.
That is Mario Gobert. So not really what we're looking for here. Gets it out to about the, looks like they're going to spot it around the 17-yard line. Be 1st and 10. Yep, right at the 17-yard line, left hash for the Tabor Blue Jays. So again, quarterback Jerome Stewart in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers right, 2 left. He's going to dump it off to King right away. Makes one man miss, and he's going to be close to first down yardage right away. Looks like he got it. So one
quick hit pass right away, and Tabor's right back on the ball.
Yep, no huddle offense here as Stewart, he's got trips to the right this time. Got a running back off his right hip. He is in the shotgun. 1 receiver left. Play action goes over to, I believe that's King again, but they were all over it this time. That'll be a loss. Actually, no gain, 2nd and 10 for the Blue Jays.
Friends defensive backs came up quick, and they recognized it right away.
Yep, they saw that they had moved King over. So now we've got Devin Jones off of his left hip. 2 receivers left, 2 right. No huddle again, but taking some time to get organized. As Stewart in the shotgun. 4 claps and gets it. He's looking to his left. Receiver fell down. Receiver King again. Thought he had some help with going to the turf. But Robert, his opinion doesn't matter.
That's right.
It's the guy on the side wearing the stripes, holding the whistle, and he disagreed. So 3rd and 10 for the Blue Jays.
Cy Aponte was on that coverage for the Falcons, and so whether he held him or not, that's a moot point right now.
Doesn't matter. Stewart in the shotgun. Has Jones off his left hip this time. 2 receivers to either side. Calls for it and gets it. Drops back. He's going for King over the shoulder, off the fingertips.
Perfectly thrown pass.
That was a beautiful pass, right where King needed it, and all of the pass attempts going to King. Unable to haul that one in. It'll be 4th and 10 from the Tabor College 28-yard line, and they're going to punt.
He was covered well. The defensive backs were right there, but that pass was just laid right in there. Just couldn't quite hang on to it.
It was. He had gotten a step, and the safety was kind of behind him too, but just unable to pull it in. So Broderick Smith going to punt here. It's a good punt. Going to bring it all the way to about the 35-yard line, but poor coverage there again, and out of bounds for the Falcons is number 0.
I'm guessing that was Lopez. He's one of their running backs as well. That's 2 special teams in a row that we have not had great coverage. But we're going to see Friends offense come out right now.
Yep, so they've got 7 points. This will be the first we've seen the offense, and they're going to start with great field position. They're on the Tabor College 44-yard line. Under center is the quarterback, sends a man in motion, gives it up the middle. That's going to be to number 4, Nick Cordova. Gets a couple yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Falcons.
Well, Terry Harrison, their coach, has been known for running this flex bone. When he played at Bethel, he really ran a system that emphasized the run, but they can throw it if they need to. So you're going to see a real tight line with those 2 backs, kind of what people call slot backs or your wing backs.
Right.
With that fullback, you'll see a lot of little motion. And all of a sudden, you're going to see a little pass come out of there when no one's ready.
Baker under center. As Robert said, tight formation. Going to go right up the middle again. Just here it is. Try and stop it. And that is Cordova again. He's going to get first down yardage to the 32-yard line of Tabor College.
I didn't see who made that stop, but it might have been Edwards from the Blue Jays.
So the Falcons going no huddle here, but basically just waiting for a signal from the sideline. Everybody checks the hardware on the right wrist, and away we go. Baker under center, gives it to Cordova again. The old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right, and luckily for that, there was pair, but once again, it's 10-plus yards, and the Blue Jays are going to have to figure out how to plug those holes up front.
So ball to the 21-yard line, left hash for the Falcons. And the Blue Jays haven't really done anything to stop them on special teams or now on offense.
Friends are just loaded with people in the backfield. I mean, they've got two guys that'll come in off the sideline, too, that are pretty. But we're going to see Cordova again.
Yeah, Cordova right up the middle, 21 yards, untouched for the touchdown with 11 minutes, 13 seconds to go here in the first half.
Frustrating to watch if you're a Blue Jay fan right now. I mean, that kickoff kind of took the life out of you, but you really need the Sage of Group's got to be able to come back from that.
Yeah, you need to rebound from that, and you're looking to your wide receiver to pull that pass in too. But at this point, got to look forward. Point after is up. It is good, and with 11 minutes, 13 seconds to go in the first quarter, your score, Friends University 14, Tabor College 0.
Friends University 14, Tabor College 0.
We want to take another look at the kick here.
Yeah, and really not much to talk about there. It was just Cordova up the middle, same play each time for
Well, here we get to see the Blue Jay return team again. I don't want to see this a lot today, but the first quarter is not a good not a good sign of what we're hoping not to see.
So King back in his own end zone for the Blue Jays. Looks like he'll get it on the 3-yard line this time. Going to go towards the middle and has some room here. Gets by one man, but brought down at the 26-yard line.
It's a little bit slow to get up here. Hopefully that's nothing, but it was a nice return by King, definitely.
King has gotten the ball every time or been targeted every time so far for the Blue Jays. We'll see if that continues going forward. King going to go to the slot on the right-hand side. Stewart in the shotgun. He's got Devin Jones behind him. Got another running back off his left hip. That's Holden Key. And this, again, is going to go to...
This is Devin King. Jones, I think.
Was it Jones this time?
Number 4.
So off the right-hand side, going to be a loss of 3. Loss of 3. Be 2nd and 13 for the Blue Jays. We're going to look to string it out this time.
I think the tackle would be Talon Garland because Dingle is an offensive player. Friends has about 2 of every number, so we have to kind of follow that.
Stewart clapping for it, gets it finally, back in the pocket. Over the middle, it is picked off. Nobody in front of him. That is going to be a pick 6.
So Andrew Arnold, he's a senior from Antlers, Oklahoma, picks off, stepped right in front of the ball. And, so, we've seen 3 different types of score from the Falcons so far: special teams, offense, and now the defense scores.
That was, it's different to sit up here in the booth, but I don't know about you, but I could see that coming from a mile away. I don't know if he just didn't see him or what, but he threw it right to number 15 in white, and there was just nobody in front of him.
Obviously, if you're on the field, you can't see everything, but yeah, we have a better view and we can kind of see the whole picture. So
with 10 minutes, 17 seconds to go in the first quarter, things not going well for the Tabor Blue Jays, down 21-0, and we have not yet played 5 minutes.
Yeah, Tabor's going to definitely have to step up here and figure out how to calm the storm. We looked at some of those stats of Friends when we were going through the starting lineup. Their quarterback was 4 of 6.
Right.
You don't have to throw it a lot when you are scoring 50, 60 points a game, because it is one of the top scoring offenses in the country right now in NAIA. We've talked about the Kessinger and Bissell divisions in the past, but Friends is in the Bissell division, and they are tied with McPherson on top of that, and Kansas Wesleyan. That's going to be a real tough division. And Tabor's in the Kessinger division, and right now they're sitting at 1-2. But the division play doesn't come till the last half of the season. So right now we are cross-division playing.
Osher puts a kick in the air. He did not like it right away. Lands about 5 yards out of bounds by the 10-yard marker over there. So Tabor College will get a bit of a break there.
Kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Last week against Bethel, Friends scored 14 in the first, 13 in the second, and they came out in the third and scored 28.
And that was tied for their least highest scoring game.
Isn't that, yeah.
They scored 62 in the last 2 and started the year with 73 points. So they can put up some points. They've put up 21 here already in less than 5 minutes. So Stewart going to go under center, the old-fashioned I formation here. Going to give it to the second guy through, who is Jones. Nothing doing, though. Looks like he lost a yard.
There was several Friends players on that tackle. I know one of them was Andrew Arnold again. He's the one that picked off that pass just a little bit ago for a pick 6.
Second and 11 from their own 34-yard line. Let's see what formation comes out again. We've got Cameron Collier in the backfield this time, right next to Stewart. Couple of tight ends in there and then one receiver on each side. Stewart's in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. That is Jones. Going to be given to Collier, and again, just nothing doing up the middle for the Blue Jays.
Whole group of Falcons on that tackle. I'd say Castillo was one of the main ones. He came up from the bottom there. Jairo Castillo. Again, I'll apologize for pronunciations. We're trying, and if they don't give us pronunciations, we're kind of stuck out here in no man's land.
I noticed that too, that sometimes the pronunciation, you look at it and you're like, yeah, that, of course that's what it is. And then you look at the next name and there's no pronunciation for it. So
that's right. You got a picture of the offensive line there for the Blue Jays.
Stewart in the backfield, 2 wide receivers to the right. Stewart is swallowed up, not going to get anywhere. First one to him was number 11.
Garland, senior from Killeen, Texas, Talon Garden.
So Blue Jays went almost 10 yards is the good news. Bad news is wrong way.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to punt here once again and give it back to that high-powered Falcon offense.
Now, as far as punting goes, Broderick Smith was an all-conference punter last year. He's definitely been a good asset for the Blue Jays.
Absolutely. He's going to put it in the air here.
Almost blocked.
decent punt. Looked like it might have hit somebody, but it's going to get downed right around the 40-yard line. Call it the 41. Falcons will have the ball 1st and 10. From there, first time they're going to start on their own end of the field, but still pretty decent field position for the Falcons.
Oh, it's the farthest back they've been, though. Yep. So, yeah. We'll see what kind of defense Tabor can put up this time. The last few times, Cordova has just, and I'm going to guess we're going to see another back. In the past, Friends has loved to switch their backs between about 3 or 4 guys, and I don't see Cordova back there right now.
It's like, did I see 21? That's Sykes.
Yeah.
That is fake to Sykes. It's going to go off the left end, and nobody there. That is 0, Michael Lopez. And that is going to be a 59-yard run for Lopez.
Michael Lopez on the carry. Touchdown, Friends.
I don't have a lot to say right here when you start looking at this. I mean, Friends seems to be doing what they want, when they want, how they want.
Lopez with the 59-yard TD run.
Bosher, freshman from Burleson, Texas, is out to kick for the Falcons with Overman holding.
So we've got 7 minutes 46 seconds to go, first quarter. And Friends University has put up 28 points on the Blue Jays, who have not yet crossed midfield.
What do you do here if you're Coach Gardner?
Well, I was thinking about, your son and my son is the same age and they both like video games. I was thinking if it was there, you'd be hitting the reset button by now.
I think you would love to go back and somehow get a restart on it. You're absolutely right.
But since you can't do that, you've got to just keep looking forward all the time. Just like any sport, just keep your eyes up, keep moving forward, and try to do something with the football this time. So King back to receive once again. Be his 4th shot at it already. Actually 3rd. The last one went out of bounds. King going to let that one go into the end zone for the touchback.
Well, Blue Jay offense comes back here, and you got to have a spark. I mean, we started out that first series with some quick hits. Got a few yards off of it. We kind of tried the run game. That didn't work.
That did not work last
And he had that little rollout where he was sacked this last time, too. So it'll be interesting what Gardner puts in this time to see what he'll do.
Here come the Blue Jays offense. Stewart in the shotgun. Has Devin Jones next to him. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Calls for it and gets it. He's going to give it to Jones up the middle. And again, just nothing doing up the middle. Loss of 2 yards. Be 2nd and 12 for the Blue Jays.
And that Friends defense is all over the place. The sad thing is the safeties haven't had to do much today because that front group has just been they've been dominating the front line.
Yep, those front 4 have been dominating so far. Just nothing that the Blue Jays can do. Stewart in the backfield. He's got Jones to his left this time. King is in the near side slot. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Jones is going to be sent out. Pass it to him. Closed in right away by the Falcons. He was almost able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. He's got about 2 yards. It'll still be 3rd and 11 for him.
And then Skrobecki is right there for the Falcons. You can see that.
No huddle for the Blue Jays, but you look at their demeanor, hands on hips already, and you've just got to kind of look past that as Stewart calls out the play. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Jones right off his left hip. Blue Jays got to go 11 yards here on 3rd down. Stewart
has a little bit, not too much time. I was going to say he had a little bit of time, and that got closed quick with Garland and it looked like Allen, I think, number 90.
He had some.
Down by the Falcons, number 11, Taylor Garland.
Yeah, it was Garland that got there first, and in the time it took you to say he's got time, Garland reversed that. So
I had to take that back.
Yeah, another 3rd down sack for the Falcons. Tabor College going backwards. They are on their own, looks like 13-yard line, and they will punt once again. So punt goes on, not a particularly great punt. It's going to get out to the 45-yard line of the Blue Jays. It's going to be fair caught there by Michael Lopez. So Falcons will start already up 28-0.
Think we can put 12 out? Is there a rule that we can put 12 or 13 out maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like the ESPN broadcast or the Prime broadcast where they got numbers on them.
That's right.
And they don't get away with it. So again, tight formation as Baker under center. This in high school we called this the wing T with the 2 flanker backs there.
Yeah.
Going to go just right up the middle to number 21. That's Sykes.
Nice tackle by Edwards there. He came up, but don't want your safety making all your tackles. That's kind of the problem with that. But
so 7-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 3 for the Falcons. Yeah, you don't want your safety making those plays on the running plays, especially when by now everyone in the stadium knows what's coming.
Exactly.
It's going to go right up the middle, or when they've gone outside, they've gone to the far side, the left side.
Well, in an ideal situation, your D-line creates double teams and let your linebackers do the cleanup.
And in motion, Sykes going to take it right up the middle again. He went about 6 yards before anyone even touched him. He'll be brought down for the first down.
Well, Daigle was the first one to grab his legs. I know there's a couple more that piled on, but like we said too, this is the second running back that's really running for the Falcons. The Falcons line does have a couple local kids. I work at the high school here in town, and there's 2 Halstead kids on that front line with Greider and Herman, and they were pretty good players in high school too.
Fake to Sykes. It's going to go off the left side. So again, not a lot of creativity here by Friends University. That went to Lopez, and that's what you've seen. It's either this drive. It's either going to go up the middle to Sykes or off the left side to Lopez. And the Falcons are just saying, here it is, try and stop it.
Yeah, that's the thing with this flex bone, wing T, whatever you want to call it, is there's not a lot of, if you want to call the word creativity, there's a lot of different things you can do, whether you motion, whether you dive, but it is a very I'm coming at you kind of football.
Yep. Baker under center, gives it off up to Sykes. There is laundry on the field as the second down carry would have got the first down. Wait and see what the call is here.
I think Daigle was on that tackle again. Might have the wrong number, but
Offside. 98. Line. All the plays, first down.
So offsides there. I wondered about that. The nose tackle there getting a little jumpy for the Blue Jays. So penalty decline. They'll take the yards. It's 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Baker under center. He's got Sykes behind him. Lopez in motion. Baker going to take it himself. Just runs right around everybody and scampers in for a 19-yard score with 3 minutes, 6 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Is that the first time he's ran it? I mean, he really kept it, isn't he?
I think it is.
Maybe second, but and like I was saying before, that offensive line, I mentioned the 2 Halstead kids who were really good in high school and they just got better here. Their whole offensive line is senior. So they've got 5 guys on that front that have been playing together for a while.
Point after is up and good, so 35 points put up by Friends University. So let me kind of add on to what you've been talking about here. So I'm still the new guy. The listeners will remember from last week the northern accent you're hearing is from South Dakota. And so in South Dakota, there's a lot of NAIA schools as well. And I like that because you get to see the upper tier of the high school players that you've watched. You get to see them play. What I've noticed here, though, is there's a lot more out-of-state players than we see up in South Dakota. Is that something that's normal or just kind of...
Well, I think the KCAC tries to recruit kind of local, but you also see them hitting out of state. I think it's a coach, it's a school preference and on what you do, but I think these KCAC schools benefit a great deal from recruiting in Kansas because it's people that know the schools, they know the towns. It's not a surprise as much. And even if they're maybe not instantly the success, we had a kid from Tabor, or from Hillsboro, way back 15 years ago named Dylan Delk.
Okay.
He was a good player in high school, but I don't know if he was all-state or not. He came to Tabor, and in a couple years, he was an All-American. I mean, he was the guy. I mean, you talk about Dylan Delk to these coaches down here, and they will maybe refer to him as one of the best defensive ends that's played. And he was a local Hillsboro product, and he just developed into being not just a good player, but a great player.
All right, so the Blue Jays going to get another crack at it here from their own 25-yard line. Kickoff went into the end zone. So Stewart will get it quick out this time. Going to gain a few yards. That goes to number 8.
It's Dozier, I think.
That is Dozier out there.
I think Dozier is wearing a different number in the past, like number 14. And but he's on the roster as number 8. So,
all right, I'm going to change that.
I mean, Marcus Turner is another one mentioned there, but I do think might need to ask someone that works here.
So, 2nd and 4 for the Blue Jays. Got some positive yards out of that one. Stewart clapping out the cadence, gets it. There's a flag right away. Play didn't look good from the start. 3 Friends University players in the backfield before you could snap your fingers. We'll wait and see what the flag is.
Mackay Bird was in the backfield, I think, almost quicker than the ball was.
Early indication is it's on Friends.
Outside. 12, defense.
And that's got
the previous spot. First down.
to make them feel a little bit better because they were there right now. So that'll be a Blue Jay first down. Haven't had one of those in a while. To my memory, it's the second one.
That might be right.
So Blue Jays moving in the right direction. Stewart barking out commands. He's got Cameron Collier in the backfield with him. Trips to the left, one receiver to the right. Claps out that cadence, goes right away to the near side. And they're going to get some decent yardage there, almost first down yardage, as that goes to Evan Safeman, the 5'11 senior from Plantation, Florida. They're going to get 8 yards.
It's a nice quick hit. And that was a nice block by Holden Key there. I think if I heard you right, Holden's here as a quarterback, but he's playing a lot of wide receiver right now.
Yeah, well, and when I saw him listed, it was tight end. So they don't make these lists for announcers, I'll tell you that.
And so much changes, and we are not the ones they're trying to please, I don't think, with that. That's Stewart. Nice pass out.
Stewart rolls to his right and hits the aforementioned Holden Key, who was playing receiver on that play. And that'll be another first down and another milestone here. The Blue Jays get into Falcons territory for the first time tonight. They are on the 46-yard line.
And I've got to admit, right there, he had a little time, and then he could roll out. You look at the Blue Jay line. I mean, two of those guys are from Concordia, Kansas, up north here, about 2 hours north.
All right, Stewart in the backfield. He's got Collier behind him. Trips to the left again. 3-step drop and tried to go over the top to Dozier.
A lot of pressure again by the Falcons. Tyler Lane was right in Stewart's face as he let go of the ball.
But you see some of those adjustments coming from the coaching staff here. We're going back to the quick outs and the quick 3-step drops to try to get rid of the ball quickly, and it's worked decently well this time. So same formation. Collier going to be in the backfield, one receiver to the right, trips to the left for Stewart. Claps out that cadence once again. Quick drop and hit as he throws, and that throw sailed on him out of bounds. It'll be third down for the Blue Jays.
Mekhi Bird just nailed him right as he was throwing, and that couldn't have felt good. It's the thing with quarterbacks, you're so vulnerable when you're sitting in the pocket.
And you've got your arm extended like that. You think about if you're goofing off with your brothers or your buddies, and one of them's going to come up and hit you. What do? You put your arms down and you protect those ribs, and quarterbacks just don't have that.
They don't.
That ability.
You could tell he got up a little bit, stretching it out a little bit.
So no tight ends here. Stewart drops back, had a second. There's going to be a flag on the play in the area of holding. We'll wait and see what happens here.
Holding. 5, offense. Penalties decline. Down.
And it is going to be holding. The penalty will be declined because another sack for the Falcons. So Blue Jays had a promising drive.
Fourth down.
But are going to need to punt here once again as the ball comes back on their own side of the 50-yard line. So coming out to punt once again for Tabor College. So kick's going to go down to about the 8-yard line, and good coverage there by the Falcons. Mike.
Smith's punt is returned.
So we've had a wild first quarter. As we're getting close to the end, we'll have one more play before, with 3 seconds left in this quarter. Friends will come out and we're going to see what they do here. But we'll be switching sides here after this play.
So going to come up and running back pass too far for number 80. Let me check the program here and see who.
Samuel Becker.
Samuel Becker. Oh, of course, there's only one number 80, so I wasn't looking in the right place. But if that pass had been connected, there was no one in front of Becker, and it would have been a foot race.
No, that's true. And what have they done? That was their first pass.
Yep.
Everybody focuses on the run and run and run. And Becker was actually, I think, a preseason all-conference pick. He doesn't play a lot. That's saying something for Friends because they don't throw the ball a lot.
No, and the first pass was by a running back, not the quarterback.
That's true.
So we're just going to hang out here for a second and let her go silent as we get ready for the second quarter here on the Tabor Network. Actually, I've got a couple of things I need to say here. So want to give a shout out to the Tabor cheerleaders. Also, stay tuned at halftime. Well, Ron Braun, he's the Vice President of Philanthropy, is going to join us. He's going to give us the inside scoop on Tabor's 2025 J-Day of Giving coming up on October 1st. So don't go away at halftime. We'll have Ron Braun giving us that kind of information as well.
You know, we have some scores from around the league here. Avila and St. Mary's are at the end of their first quarter or close. Avila, this is a battle of two 0-3 teams with Avila and St. Mary, and it's Avila 3, St. Mary 0. Sterling and Bethany, another battle of probably the bottom of divisions. Bethany at 1-2 and Sterling at 0-3. Bethany is leading that 14-7 to start the second quarter.
Baker under center is going to give it off up the middle. Wait and see. That is, we're back to Cordova, who started the first series, has one touchdown already. Gets 7 yards on the play, so it's 3rd and 3 for the Falcons. Boy, the Blue Jays would love to stop them here and get a punt from the Falcons.
Well, I'll be real curious how this goes. Cordova had the first, I don't know if you call it a series or two because they scored quick.
Right.
But now it's the second quarter, and he's got the first series here. And
Baker under center, sends a man in motion. Looked like he was going to pass for a second, gives it up the middle, and they'll have easy first down yardage. And that
Edwards and Daigle were there for the tackle.
And that went to Cordova. And you talked about it, Robert. It's the same play, basically. Everybody's going in different directions, but I didn't see Cordova with the ball that time because it was same play, just a little wrinkle. And Baker stopped and acted like he was going to pass, which probably even surprised the Falcon fans.
Yeah.
But
we have a team in our league, Hoisington, that runs this a lot, and it can drive you a little crazy. That front line moves you.
See, and I lost it again. They faked it to Cordova. This is around the right side this time. Huge yardage for Friends University. Going to get it all the way down inside the 10-yard line. That's Caden Rigsby, number 2. And just, again, hitting you with the same play, different players. Caden Rigsby around the right side for a huge gain will bring the Friends University Falcons down to the 8-yard line. They'll have 1st and goal from there.
It just wears you out to have to. It's kind of like assignment football, and I don't know how they worked with that in practice, but it's like you have got to tackle this kid. You have got to tackle this one. You have got to tackle that one.
This one going to come to the near side this time. Flag on the play as the play's going to be about a yard short. That's number 17.
Looks like Jace Martin. They've got 3 17s on their roster.
76, offense.
And none of them are on the 2
Go
deep.
first down.
So. Going to be a holding penalty. Will bring the Falcons back.
Another score from around the league right now. Southwestern is leading Ottawa 14-7 early in the second quarter. It's a battle of 2-1 teams.
The holding call brings the ball back to the 18-yard line of the Blue Jays. It'll be 1st and goal from there, from the 18. Devontae Baker, the quarterback, will go under center. Going to give it to Cordova up the middle this time. And he got a few yards. Going to get it across the 15 to looks like about the 13-yard line, brought down by Dusty Daigle. It'll be 2nd and goal then from the 13.
Yeah, and Patterson was in on that tackle as well. That front group of linemen's getting their workout today, and
they are. Baker under center. Gives it to, fakes it to Cordova. He had me. And
all of us were looking at that.
And then Baker took it himself. There's just so many guys going in so many different directions. I think about, nobody's going to understand what I'm talking about, but there's a high school in South Dakota that runs this exact same offense, and the leading rusher was actually one of the flanker backs.
Yeah.
It was the coach's kid. You just never knew where he was coming from. So 3rd down and goal for Friends. They got just a little bit past the original line of scrimmage. Call it 3rd and goal from the 7 here.
And that was Cale Andre on that last tackle for the Blue Jays here from Andale, local team.
Baker going to pitch to the right side, and not getting it is Rigsby again.
And Daigle flies up. Gibbs helped push him out. I think we have a 4th down, don't we?
We do. 4th down. Looks like the Falcons are going to bring in the field goal unit here. Good job by the Tabor defense to string that one out and just ran out of room. Normally, Friends had been running to the far side of the field, went short side that time. And they'll have to settle for a 22-yard field goal. It's up, and it is good.
Kick is good from the Falcons, number 36, Stuart Closer.
And with 10 minutes left in the second quarter, we are at 38-0 Friends. I knew today would be a very difficult day to play with Friends. I can't say I expected this, though.
Yeah, I was hoping for more of that Southwestern game. You know, we had we're at home, we're on our home turf. You think about the Rudy movie, which dates both of us that we know Rudy, but no one comes into our house and pushes us around. And
that's right.
That has not been the case. We're down already early into the second quarter. We're down to moral victories, and that was a moral victory for Tabor College there. Kept them out of the end zone for the first time this afternoon. But once again, Tabor going to receive the kick. A.J. King back to receive it. Bosher going to kick. Right leg getting a workout here. Puts it in the air. King will receive it at the 8-yard line. He's going to go towards the center, cut back to his right, and he is brought down at the 23-yard line. Tabor College Blue Jays will have a 1st and 10 from there. So again, don't forget to join us at halftime while Ron Braun, the Vice President of Philanthropy, gives us the inside scoop on Tabor's 2025 J Day of Giving. That's coming up on October 1st, so we'll learn all about that here at halftime. Stewart going to go under center here. He's got trips to the left, sends a man in motion. Going to give it to the man in motion, but Blue Jays zigged when they should have zagged there. That's Holden Key. We've talked about him a little bit, but wasn't expecting. He kind of ran into Stewart there. Stewart, I think, was expecting him to just keep running and go right by him.
Right, and Tyson Wallace from Goddard, sophomore there to Friends, he stepped right in and made a nice tackle.
Loss of 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 16. Drifts to the left for Stewart. Has Collier off his right hip. Has a receiver to the right as well. Claps out that cadence, gets the ball. Has a little bit of time, dumps it off to Collier. But Friends right there. Gain of 2 yards, maybe.
Skrobecki on that tackle.
Give him 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 14 for the Blue Jays. Looking to get something positive going here. At least got to get a couple of first downs and flip the field here a little bit.
Yeah, it'd just be nice to play a little more field position. Or get, yeah. Once again, you said about moral victories before.
Yeah. Stewart has Collier off his left hip. Two receivers either side. He's going to put it in the air. Actually, he's going to run now. Not going to get nearly enough. Gets past the original line of scrimmage. And
He's brought down by the Falcons, number 11.
about a 5-yard gain, but not nearly enough. It'll be 4th and 8 for the Blue Jays.
That's right. And Garland again on the tackle. We've mentioned Talon Garden several times today for the Falcons. He's kind of been a menace on the inside.
And another guy we've mentioned a lot that we kind of would rather not is Mr. Smith. Going to come out and punt once again.
Yeah, he's going to get his workout.
Low snap, puts it in the air. Good punt this time. Spiral punt, going to be a fair caught. No, let go. Takes a Tabor College bounce all the way down to the 20-yard line. So talk about moral victories. They were able to flip the field here off the right foot of Broderick Smith and get the Falcons starting from their own 20.
Just a look back last week, just looking at some of Friend's stats. They had 6 backs that were at about 50 yards or more. So when you have 6 people running the ball for over 50 yards a game, they had 522 total rushing yards.
Yeah, so you can't key on any one person, but it's like you talked about. You got to stick to your assignments. This one's going to go right up the middle, and for a 11-yard gain right away is number 21, that's Sykes.
And it's Edwards and Daigle.
He's brought down by number 10,
So Adarian Sykes, it looks like they're switching off here on running backs, but Sykes will get to carry this time. Baker going to keep it here, and he is gone. There is not a Tabor College player within 10 yards. And Baker, that's going to be a 67-yard run for Baker. Will add to this lead here for Friends University, and Robert, same play. He just didn't give the ball off this time, right?
Well,
there's that sweep to the far side. There's the run up the middle, and this time they went with option 3, which was Baker running, and it's worked really well for him.
You got to tackle 4 guys every play almost.
Point after is good. So it's 7 minutes and 4 seconds to go.
Some other things going on around at Tabor. Today, both women's and men's soccer is playing at St. Mary's. Next Monday and Tuesday, the Tabor College golf team will go to Bethel and play in a tournament. Next Wednesday, Hillsboro will be playing volleyball and soccer against Bethel here in Hillsboro. So if you're in town, please come back and support the volleyball and soccer teams as well. Next Friday, tennis is at Salina, and then next Saturday, Tabor will be traveling to Kansas Wesleyan for another game of ranked opponent.
Yeah.
So there you are again. You mentioned 3 in a row. We're going to end up having to play another one.
It's going to be 4 in a row, yeah. I wonder at this point if Coach Gardner's saying, who made this schedule? What's going on here?
Well, but the other side of that, we talked about divisions. This doesn't count for playoffs in a way. They can last year they ended up winning the last 6, I think.
Yes.
5 or 6. They had a big winning streak to end the season and finished high in their division. So
King gets the kick at the 6-yard line, going to go up the middle, then off to the right side.
Had a little opening there.
Pushes the pile a little bit, going to get to the 30-yard line.
It looked like Arnold was on the tackle.
Hey, you mentioned all the other sports coming up. We're 3 or 4 blocks from here, and I always love hearing Nate Howard call the soccer games.
Oh, that's right.
Because we'll hear them, and maybe the wind will be off a little bit, so we can't really tell what's going on. And I'll say to Grayson, I wonder what sport it is, and then all of a sudden you hear Nate yell, "Goal!" And then we know. because with the Trojans play here too, so this field gets a lot of use.
It does.
Stewart drops back, quick throw out of bounds. That's going to be.
It was a nice pass to Dozier there, and he didn't have any room to spare.
No, I mean my breath caught for a second because I thought that was a pick six. I mean,
Well, Brock Zerger, I think he's a junior from Derby. He's I think he had his eyes on the pick six.
Yep, and he was real close, but
Very close.
Thankfully, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
That's correct.
Stewart in the shotgun here. He's got Collier behind him. He's going to give it to Collier, but that just hasn't worked all game. They just swallowed up right away. I think that play gets called just to keep them honest, but really there's just been nothing up the middle all game for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, it was Castillo and Lane for the Falcons. That was just the two that I saw. There might have been a couple more.
Yep. So lost all but 2 of the yards originally gained. So 3rd and 8 for the Blue Jays here. They need the 40-yard line. So Stewart's got Collier back there with him. He's got 2 receivers on either side, barking out some commands. Now the Blue Jays get set. Stewart claps out the cadence and gets the ball. He's going to drop back. Doesn't have much time. Gets flushed up the middle right away, and there's just no room. He'll get sacked once again, loss of 3. It'll be 4th and 11 for the Blue Jays.
Looked like Castillo kind of flushed him, and then you could see Zerger in on the tackle and a couple other of those linemen for the Falcons, Grimmett and Sims, were right in there as well.
Yeah, Falcons just won on every aspect of that play, and they've been doing it all night, all afternoon, but there was 4 receivers in single coverage, so no one to throw to, and then he had 2 seconds, and then the clock went off in his head and nowhere to run. So Smith, another good punt. This is going to be end over end. Falcons learned their lesson from last time, so running up and grabbing it is 0. That's Lopez.
Looks like Weston Rock made that tackle. He's a freshman from Abilene, just up the road here. Once again, those are the kind of kids that love to see here, and they get a little time on special teams as a freshman, build into it to build that solid nucleus. I can say I'm envious a little bit of seeing a senior line that's kind of locally grown. 3 of Friends' linemen are from, like I said, Halstead and then Abilene as well. And Tabors are young. I mean, those 2 Concordia guys, they've been playing together a couple years. But
Baker keeps it, and that almost looked like a broken play. It looked like he wasn't expecting to keep it. Tabor College capitalized on that. He got about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 for
Daigle was there to help stop that, and Gibbs and Darian Gibbs from up the road. He's a McPherson guy as well. And
From the Falcons 42.
the clock is running, and that's what we want. We're at 4 minutes here before halftime, and I think Tabor would like to see halftime get here.
To regroup a little bit. Baker going to give it off up the middle, and that's going to be a 1st down run.
Now Cam Pear saved Cordova from another touchdown, and we'll look at some stats at the end of halftime today, but I think the rushing yards are going to be a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a lot bit ridiculous, actually. So getting across midfield is the Falcons. Not in a real big hurry, don't have to be. We've got 3.5 minutes to go yet here in the first half, so everybody's going to check the wristband. And Baker under center once again, sends a man in motion. He's going to drop back to pass, his first pass of the night. And he's going to get it off on a little button hook, and then a missed tackle there is going to get the ball all the way down to the 25-yard line. And that is Austin Pratt.
I think that's his 2nd pass. He had that one, that's his first complete one, but he threw to his tight end.
You're right.
On this early sideline that he overthrew, so maybe that was the running back, though, too, you said.
The running back, running back had that pass.
So it might be his first pass of the night.
All right, so 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Falcons. Sends a man in motion. Baker keeps it, trying to go off the left side, makes one man miss, and then he's decked there at the 19-yard line.
Boy, Edwards gave him a big pop there to get him out of bounds.
And clock's going to stay running, did not get out of bounds. Gained about 7 yards on the play.
Yeah.
2nd and 3 for the Falcons.
Well, Xavier Michelle was right there as well for the Blue Jays. Help out with Edwards.
Baker hard snap count. The
almost got him offside.
Yeah, the Blue Jays bit, but just not quite hard enough. So gonna wait and let this clock run down to the 2-minute warning.
I'm out.
Do they have a 2-minute warning? I can't remember.
They do now.
They do, okay. That's what I thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we serve the concession stand for all your favorite Canadian foods. They have hot dogs, hamburgers, and of course, world famous Hillsborough sausages, and much, much more. You don't want to miss it either hungry.
Archie, don't make the police mad. They'll all come Archie, all your people are mad at you.
All right, so we've got 2 minutes to go. We hit the 2-minute warning here. Friends University with the ball on it's like the 19-yard line. They've got 2nd and 3 here. And just right up the middle for the Falcons, he's going to get the first down easily is Cavante Baker. Just didn't mask that at all. It went right up the middle. It'll be first down for Friends. I think they're right on the 10, so it'll be 1st and goal. Yep, the chains aren't set up, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 10 for the Falcons.
Seibel and Sandoval on that tackle for the Blue Jays.
Falcons not going to be in a hurry here. Blue Jays have not been able to stop the Falcons, so Falcons want to run it down as much as they can, not give the Blue Jays any time to get any momentum. Baker under center. Counter play here. That's going to go to Cordova up the middle. He gets half of it, 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5.
Looks like Seibel is on that tackle, and you have Winans underneath there at the bottom. Winans had his hand full today with that big Friends line. He's getting hit every time by multiple people.
So again, Friends University going to let the clock run down there, keeping their eye on the play clock here down to 12 and counting. Probably isn't even going to start the cadence till 10. That's correct. Cordova up the middle, off the left side, and in for another touchdown. So with 41.8 seconds to go, Cordova will run in for a 5-yard score.
And Bosher will be coming out to get the PAT for the Falcons. Like you said, with 41 seconds left in the half, I mean, what's Tabor going to do? Are they going to try and do something out of this, or are they just going to try and get to halftime?
Bosher's kick is up. It is good. So your score with 41.8 seconds to go. Friends University has put up 52 already on the Tabor College Blue Jays. The last 2 weeks they've put up 62. Robert, I dare say they might pass that up.
I don't want you to say that.
Yeah, well, your look stopped me, but I was kind of committed. So
no, it is what it is.
41.8 seconds again. Well, like you say, we'll have to wait and see what Coach Gardner has in store. Do you try something out and see if it sticks, or do you just kneel on it and go back into the locker room and try to regroup at halftime here?
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in. This is a very mental part of the game now. How do you want to finish?
That's right. I think if it's me, I let King do his thing and kind of go from there. See how good of a return he gets. If he gets close to the 50, maybe we try something.
I have a feeling we're going to see just a couple of runs to see if we can get something, but also just let the clock run out.
Kicks in the air. It's going to go. King's going to get it on the 5-yard line. Veered towards the middle, then to the right, back up the middle. Gets to, I'm going to call it the 32, 33 maybe.
Well, Wallace was on that tackle along with Arnold. And we're going to get to see what Tabor's going to do with 36 seconds here, if they're going to try and air out a couple and just hope for the best, or if they're going to just try and get to the locker room and talk things out and see what they can figure out for the second half.
Yeah, because, the big thing, too, is you don't want it to get any worse. You'd love to see something positive here, but you also don't want to give Friends University another score on a pick 6 here.
Friends made a quick substitution there, and you've got to give them time. If we made a substitution, they've got to have time, too. So
this is just going to go right up the middle. And not much doing there. That might be the last play of the quarter.
Yeah, it was a nice little run by Jones.
Jones up the middle. It looks like they can let it run out if they want. Jones is unstrapping his helmet.
Gardner is talking to Rohrbaugh, the offensive coordinator, and looks like they might run one more.
Yep, Jones straps it back up. And they are going to run one more. Jones off the left side lost some of the yards he gained, and we'll go into halftime with your score. Friends University 52, Tabor 0. And we've just played a half of football. So as promised at halftime, I get to introduce you to Ron Braun. He is the Vice President of Philanthropy. And he's going to give us the inside scoop on Tabor's 2025 J Day of Giving coming up here on October 1st. So, Ron, it is all yours.
Well, Blue Jay fans, we're so happy that you've joined us today for the game. We're going to have one of the greatest Blue Jay comebacks in Tabor history in the second half. So we look forward to you continuing to listen in and watch the game with us.
I'm going to write that down.
This is one of the times of the year, extremely busy on the Tabor campus. We're excited about the new enrollment figures that were released this week. Enrollment was up 19.5% for a total of 742 students. We're thrilled about that. We also know that has a few challenges for us. We need classroom space and we need more beds. And so the upcoming J-Day event is an event that we have in the fall to raise funds for student scholarships as well as operational expenses. So on October 1, that's a Wednesday, less than 2 weeks from now, we're going to have this special day where we're asking Blue Jay fans and donors from across the country to chip in, make a gift, and support Tabor College. Last year we were blessed with a couple of major gifts, some challenges that we received, and this week we also received a $100,000 challenge, and so we're looking for donors who will help us meet that challenge by October 1. As I said, these scholarship funds are so important to our students. Last night we had 130 people come together for our annual scholarship dinner, and it was a time of hearing students and how they are impacted by the generosity of donors from the past and today. So it's a great opportunity to invest in the students of today and the leaders of tomorrow. So on Wednesday, October 1, or any time prior or even after, we ask you to continue and consider making gifts to Tabor College. You can give online at tabor.edu/give, or you can send a check to Tabor College and we'll be happy to send you a receipt. So thank you very much. We welcome your support and look forward to a better second half here at the Tabor Friends game. Thank you.
All right, Ron, I want to thank you for that. That's Ron Braun, the Vice President of Philanthropy at Tabor College, urging you to give on Wednesday, October 1st. And again, Ron just went over the different ways that you can do that. So thanks, Ron, for joining us, and hope his prediction comes true of one of the greatest comebacks in college history.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great.
I wrote
Thank
it
you too,
down.
Ron.
He made the prediction at 2:04 p.m. Well,
Yeah. Well, we're going to probably take a break here, and there'll be probably a little radio silence or voice silence as you look on the south side of the Hillsboro campus at the wind towers, not wind tunnels. But like I said, it's a beautiful day here in Hillsboro. Would like the score to be the opposite, but if you're a Falcons fan, you're probably enjoying this game. So we'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll recap the first half and what's going on around the league.
absolutely. Sounds good. All right, Jim Millman, Robert Rempel back here on the campus of Tabor College in Hillsboro, Kansas. Get you ready for the second half here. We'll start off with a scoring recap of the first half, and pretty lopsided here, and it started right away. A 91-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Jace Martin for the Falcons. Point after good. Falcons led 7-0. That was right away. Then at 11 minutes, 13 seconds to go in the first quarter, Cordova had a 21-yard touchdown run, 14-0 Falcons. Not too far after that, there was a pick six by Andrew Arnold, 26 yards, 21-0 Falcons. 7 minutes, 46 seconds to go in the first quarter. Michael Lopez around the end for a 59-yard touchdown run, 28-0 Falcons. And then a bit of a moral victory with we're one play away from the moral victory. 3 minutes, 6 seconds to go. Cavante Baker took it himself for a 19-yard touchdown run. And then again towards the end of the first quarter, actually it was the beginning of the second quarter, there was a field goal to make, a 24-yard field goal to make it 38-0 Falcons. Falcons kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit in the second quarter. Another run by Baker, this time a 68-yard touchdown run by Baker, made it 45-0 Falcons. And then with 41.8 seconds to go in the first half, Cordova, a 5-yard run, and where we stand right now, 52-0 Falcons over the Tabor College Blue Jays. And Robert's going to give you some stats.
Yeah, and as Jim was saying about the scoring drives, that's a lot of scoring drives for a full game, let alone just 1.5. I had a friend of mine text me during the game and ask me if we were right, and I'd like to say we're not. But as you can hear, if you're looking at stats too online, because you could always go to Tabor Blue Jay football and pull up the stats and see them. But it has been a very Friends-dominated first half. They have had 386 total yards of offense to Tabor's 8. 40 passing yards, negative 32 rushing yards for the Blue Jays, and that is very tough to deal with. And just going through some of that. But Friends has 4 backs over 50 yards, and they've actually been running 5 backs. Baker with 110 yards, Cordova 83, Rigsby with 74, Lopez 64, and Sykes with 33. On the Blue Jay side, basically the positive yards is A.J. King with 11 receiving yards, Dozier with 10, and Key and Safeman with just under 10. So it's been a very heavy Friends offense. And so we're going to have to see what happens here in the second half.
And King got those 11 yards right away.
Yeah, he had those first 3 passes,
right.
I think, and even lost some on one of those. But
right. And when you said 8 total yards, I was actually a little bit relieved because I thought we might be negative. That kickoff's going to go out of bounds here, so the Blue Jays will start at the 35-yard line to start off
Kick out of bounds.
the second half.
All placed at 35. First down.
some other scores from around the conference here at halftime. Southwestern 31, Ottawa 10. Bethany 20, Sterling 7 to start the third quarter. Avila and St. Mary's 6-6 at halftime. And we are the only other game going on early today, as the other KCAC games will be this evening.
First and 10.
All right, so Stewart in the backfield. In the shotgun. Looks like he has tight trips to the right, nobody to the left. Has a running back off his right hip. Gives to the running back.
Oh, it's a fumble.
Ball on the ground. Nope, the far side official says it's on the ground first. So no fumble. And ball carried by Devin Jones. Looks like, did he get a yard? He did. He got half a yard, 3/4 of a yard. We're going to be generous and give him the whole yard. 2nd and 9 for the Blue Jays.
Looks like Sims stripped that ball out.
So the far side line judge came in right away and was adamant that it was on the ground. Let's see what's going on here if they're going to challenge that. They do have review, and I think that is what's going to happen.
Come on, friends, you're up 52-0. Do you really have to do that? Even though that would be us.
Field, runner was down by contact. Friends is challenging that rule. Timeout.
So, yeah, that's a new rule this year with the challenge, and we got our guy in a tent down here in the corner that'll probably have to look at some things.
Is there a way we could see that one more time? You thought it was a fumble.
Well, I just saw the ball loose, but it did look like Sims knocked the ball out, but I did not see his knee. We'll see if we can pull up that replay again from up top. I wasn't looking at the knee at that point.
Yeah, while you're ahead of me, I didn't see it at all. So let's take a look here.
They go to that right side. Well, that's close.
Man, that's really close.
That right knee was laying on the ground as the ball was being stripped off. So
if this is where we need Joe Sechrist, but
we'll see if they stop it here.
Yeah.
And just right about there. Go back a little bit there, and you can kind of see.
Yeah.
Man, that's close.
I think you got to leave it, just from my very limited knowledge, that when it's that close, you go with the call on the field.
Well, it's got to be irrefutable evidence to change the call. And we've got 3 officials down in the tent here looking, and they're coming out now. And it just, man, watching this right now, it almost could be called a fumble. So we'll get the officials' word
After
here.
review, on the field, upheld.
Yeah. So it's kind of what we thought. It's not enough evidence to change it.
Yeah, so that was a little choppy if you didn't hear it. It was upheld. That's the language they're using this year. It seems like that language changes every year, too, from confirmed to upheld to...
Is that the official's choice?
Right.
Or is that going to be like the NAIA rules compared to the NCAA or NFL?
That's just exactly right. That's why it was... it's fun to have Joe up here because I watch high school football, I watch college, I watch NFL, and he at least pretends to know what he's talking about.
Well, Joe's been an official for a lot of years at the college level too, so he knows the official side of things.
Stewart gives it off up the middle. A couple more yards this time.
Looks like Grimmett is on the tackle there for the Falcons.
So Jones going to get a number 3. It'll be 3rd and 6 for the Blue Jays. Looking to get something going here in the second half. So 4 receivers to the left here. 1 right, empty backfield for Stewart. Claps out the cadence, hits the ball.
Under pressure.
Had a couple of seconds. He hits Jones across the middle there, went with his check down, got 1 yard, and it'll be 4th and 5 for the Blue Jays. And it looks like they're going to punt.
We talked before the game when we introduced starters about the 2 quarterback, how it was Stewart wasn't playing a lot the first couple games, but Gaines Bailey was. So right now we are back with Stewart again this half.
I wondered about that. I made sure to check the program to make sure that it was he that was out here. It is that punt's going to go to about the 27-yard line. It is muffed.
They're waving it dead, but what are they? Oh, they're saying Tabor ball.
I see Tabor. Yep, and now
Tabor
the official. So Tabor gets a much-needed break. The ball's going to be on the 26-yard line.
Here you watch it. He just dropped it right through his hands, and
recovered by the Blue Jays. That's good for Blue Jays.
All I could see there was Riley Bush. There was another player down there, but Riley Bush, number 49 for the Blue Jays, was part of that group, putting pressure on big sign of life. I mean, not saying we can cover 52 points, but you look at a positive, this is a big one for the Blue Jays.
Well, we can't forget the halftime prediction.
That's right, by Mr. Braun. Jones on that carry for about 2 yards. Looks like about 1 yard.
So give him a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Blue Jays. You know, when I talked to Coach Gardner a few weeks ago now, I didn't get a chance to talk to him this week, but he had talked about using 2 quarterbacks during the game, and then we haven't seen that hardly at all. It's been one or the other. And so far it looks like it's Stewart's game. As pass to the right side is going to get a few more.
Dozier made a nice move cutting in there.
And that's there have not been very many things that have worked for the Blue Jays. One of the few things is that short passing game. Don't have to worry about the lack of protection, and they can just get it out. But, you know, they're going to get 10 yards or less each time. That time they got 3. 3rd and 6 for the Blue Jays.
I expect we'll see another short pass route, short passing game here.
Stewart claps out the cadence. He gets the ball, has a little bit of time, and the time has run out. He's going to go up the middle, and that just has not worked. The whole of the Friends University defensive line touched him at some point.
Well, I think Garland he thought he could get away from Garland, and that didn't work, but then he got back to the line of scrimmage in a little bit.
He did get a yard. And so we'll see what Coach Gardner does here. It looks like the offense is staying on the field just based on field position here. 4th and 5 for the Blue Jays. In this level, NAIA, that's a little bit of a boot for the kicker, but I mean, last year we saw, a 54-yarder? But
last year was a record-setting kicker for Tabor.
And that was with a pretty stiff breeze as well. Stewart back to pass. Going to go to the far corner, up for grabs. Looks like Friends came down with it. We'll see what happens. Oh, it's a touchdown. Boy, that was a battle. Dozier came away with it. I can't wait to see this replay.
Well, we're watching it here. I have a feeling this could be reversed if they've got an option for a second one.
Yeah, so Friends came down with it. There's a battle. Oh, I don't know.
But they both had it as they hit the ground.
So we'll wait and see what happens. Tabor looking to kick this.
So Dozier on a nice play of just hanging onto the ball with the Friends player.
And they're going to call it a touchdown.
I don't know the replay rule as far as how many you have. Oh, that got doinked.
So field goal no good, but the Tabor College Blue Jays on the board with a pass from Stewart to Dozier. Do we know the yardage on that?
That'd be right about the 15-yard range, give or take a couple. But, you know, that was one that I would say, if I'm watching that again, I see Friends had the ball. The guy had it, but by the time he landed, it looked like Dozier had wrapped on too.
Yep.
And the tie goes to the offense.
Right.
So,
and yeah, I'd be interested to know the rule on that too, as far as, because in the NFL that has to come from upstairs. The replay in every scoring play gets
reviewed. Yeah, so and there's no way they can do that here. I mean, you're also looking at them. I'm looking at that tent now, and you can see the little iPad.
Right.
That's a small screen to be staring at in a bright daylight to be able to narrow that down. There's Dozier on the sideline. He's pretty excited. Thankful for him to go after it there, but we're on the way to that comeback now, Jim.
That's right.
So thank you, Ron, for that inspiration.
So a squib kick here. Going to bounce all the way to about the 21-yard line. The Friends University has only received one kick, but they ran it back.
And there's Pravante Baker.
And there is laundry on the field as well.
How often do you see your quarterback returning kicks?
In college, not very often.
Anywhere.
Well, in high school, it depends on the size of the school, I
But
suppose.
still, your quarterback is a lot of times protected from that because that's a time when you get some serious hits
Holding.
sometimes.
Yeah.
9, Stevens. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Now, what could happen is they do have 2 number 3s, and I think they sent this in the 2 deep that it was Baker.
Oh, yeah, let me take a look at that here. For returners, let's see. Yep, they have Baker
They have
as the
Baker
kick
listed
returner.
as the return guy. He's very multi-talented.
So this is not Baker under center this time.
We got a new running back, too, here. I think it's Evan Cantu.
So DJ Dingle, number 11, is the quarterback. And who did you say was the running back?
Cantu, number 25. He's a junior from Wichita, Kansas.
And he is not on our 2 deep. So DJ Dingle is a 6'1" sophomore from Wichita. He is under center now. Going to give it up the middle once again. Looks like first down yardage for Cantu.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of a testament to the Friends offensive line here because they're sending in 4, 5, 6 running backs, and they're all gaining some yards here. But that's a senior-loaded group, and like number 5 is the other back, and that's Cheatham. He was a big part of their offense last year. And I don't think he's run the ball yet today.
So Friends not in a hurry, don't really need to be. That was direct snap. Oh, so that is Dingle with it. He is going the wrong way. And the ball's on the ground.
Seibel makes the sack and causes a fumble, and I think it's going to be Tabor ball.
At the 2-yard line. Yeah, that was so
Wow. I don't know if we'll see Dingle again at quarterback.
I don't know, and the officials are kind of talking as well.
Are they going to say he was down? Are they? I'm not sure what the conversation is because
I mean, I'd need to look at that. I just missed that replay.
I did too.
But it looks like he put it on the ground. I mean, can we see that again?
They're discussing something here, and I know he backed up so much. Well, here's the official call here. We'll hear what he says.
Loose ball bounced off the pylon and out of bounds. Therefore, safety.
Oh my goodness.
Well, there we go. Not only 2 points, but the ball back.
Well, there's your missed field goal getting.
It makes extra point there, yeah. Well, just seeing that running back, I know the success they've had on offense today. I'm sure he probably thought he could roll out and he could make a big play to the other side, but he went back so far that the official was in his way.
Yeah.
And then that helped our guys get in there again, too, and Seibel just was relentless.
And it also, it kind of looked like he put that ball on the ground on purpose.
Really?
Like, you can't, I'm up here, he's down there playing, but man, it looked for all the world like he just said to heck with this and put it on the ground. And I did not see it get knocked out or anything. So at any rate,
it slipped as he was trying to bring his hand up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we've both been doing this long enough to know that what it looks like is rarely what it is. But
yeah.
At any rate, it's a big turn of events for Tabor College. It's a big play by this defense that's been getting pounded all game long. And now we'll see if they can turn that into some momentum here. And if this keeps up, we need to go and get Ron Braun and get him back up in the.
He's going to be starting to do every speech every
right.
day.
So they're going to kick off from the 20 here, free kick. King's going to, great kick though. King goes all the way back to the 13-yard line. And comes all the way across.
Someone would have just picked up Austin Pratt there,
and a flag comes flying in from Lehigh almost.
And for those of you who aren't from this area, that's a town about 10 miles away.
Yeah.
Personal foul, face mask, 32 white.
Oh, that's another
15-yard penalty,
there.
first down.
The back judge threw that, though. When he started throwing that, he was like at the 20-yard line, so it was way back there.
So do we need to start getting some ratings on officials' flag throw, distance, height?
Well, I mean, he almost had to have been a high school quarterback.
All right.
He got some distance on that one.
So you gave that an 8 or a 9, maybe up to a 10 on that rating?
That's right. All joking aside, the Blue Jays are going to start at their own 42-yard line, so good field position. And they've got a little bit of momentum here. We'll see what they can do with it. Stewart's still in at quarterback. Claps out that cadence once again. He's going to give it up the middle, and there is just nothing there. I think Friends is about tired of this, and they
Skrobecki was nope, not going to do it this time.
Yep.
There was someone underneath there too, but Skrobecki went up high.
So Cordova loses the yard.
I think that'd be Jones.
11. Was it Jones? You're
Cordova
right.
would be
I
for
got
Friends.
the wrong.
Yeah.
Well, we made it all the way into the second half before I did that.
There you go.
So.
Not bad at all.
All right, Stewart's got trips to the right. Sends Jones in motion. He's going to hit Jones. And just nothing doing again. Jones does not get back to the line. Looks like he lost another yard.
Yeah, it looked like Arnold kind of stopped the pursuit there. Well, I take it back. That might have been Wallace before Arnold came in and cleaned it up. Friends' defense has been pursuing very well today.
So loss of 2 there will bring up 3rd and 13 for the Blue Jays, who really need to – they need the 48 of Friends and a much-needed 3rd down to keep this momentum going here.
If you watch that Friends defense, they don't have any interior linemen down.
Oop. Stewart has a guy, but that was King. He just Stewart underthrew him. King had a step, maybe 2, but underthrown, had to try and come back through the defense there. Just unable to do it, so Blue Jays will have to punt.
Looks like Saya Ponte is kind of hobbling off here. I don't know if he's cramping or he got twisted, but
he had some help, but then none of his buddies wanted to get called for 12 men on the field, so they kind of abandoned him and then came and helped him off.
There's a time sometimes you just have to sit down and let them call an injury timeout.
Smith with another punt. That'll be a fair catch at about the 28-yard line. Well, again, I don't know the rule. I know in Division I, in FCS anyway, they changed the rule to where any time you lay down after the ball is set, it's a charge timeout now.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if that's in NAIA, but I'm a South Dakota State fan, and we watch all of those games, and we know that. We're going to have a list for Joe if he comes back of questions.
We'll have new ones by then.
So we were wrong on one account. Dingle is still in at quarterback, but flag before the play. And looks like Friends is going backwards again.
68.
I will say he had some serious height on that flag on that far sideline, so he might be up there in the flag ratings too.
So it'll be 1st and 15 now for the Falcons. This quarter progressing a little bit quicker than the first two. We got 6 minutes, 44 seconds to go.
It's because it was 30 to, we already had 30 points on the board, or 40 by now.
Correct. Dingle hands off up the middle. I believe that is Cantu.
I think it's Cantu again.
I can see the 5. I can't. That's 15. So Ellen Conley.
I didn't see the tackler on that one either, so.
So Connolly gets the 5 yards back +1, 2nd and 9 for the Falcons. Dingle hands off. No, he pitches it around the left side. Good tackle there by the defense. Did not get back to the line of scrimmage. And that is Jace Martin on the carry for the Falcons.
You see Daigle out there again. And
Tackled by number 10, Dusty Taylor.
So it'll be 3rd and long for the Falcons. 3rd and 10. Give them a loss of 1 on that play.
well, looks like the running back is Conley, not Cantu. It's number 15.
Right.
So this is like their 8th running back. And then you also have Rigsby back in, along with Jace Martin.
So Dingle keeps it.
No, I think
Pitches
he-
it out to the
yeah.
left. So kind of a delayed option there, and it looks like that's going to get the first down.
Daigle and Pear out there on the sideline.
That is enough for a first down. I was just thinking, what it'd be like to be a wide receiver for the Falcons.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be a. I'm not sure. Maybe they don't even recruit wide receivers. They just ask their linemen or running backs if they'd run a route now and then.
Yeah, they did have somebody out wide that time. So Dingle under center again. Gives it up the middle. That's Conley. Goes off the left side. Give him about 4 or 5. Roughly halfway there. Give him
Not sure
5.
that wasn't Daigle again. Daigle and Edwards. We have called those two a lot today. Edwards is, I can't even say where he's from. San Luis. Yeah, I can't say his hometown. Daigle's from Hera, Oklahoma, though. And Daigle's also a preseason all-conference pick for the Blue Jays. And he's showing it today.
Looks like that's going to be a quarterback keeper there by Dingle. Did not get very far if he got anywhere.
That was a nice job by the Blue Jays on that one, as we have a Friends Falcons guy down. Not sure if that is 95? Wagon Blast? Caleb Wagon Blast?
Yeah, tough to see from this angle. Dingle did get a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Falcons. Get a little break in the action here with 3:34 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, hopefully it's nothing severe. You never want to see players get hurt. Sometimes it's just cramping. But he's not laying there like it's a cramp.
He's not.
A couple scores from around the league as we take a break from the action here. It would be Southwestern 31, Ottawa 10. Start of the 3rd quarter. It's another high-scoring affair. Bethany 28, Sterling 14, late in the 3rd. St. Mary's takes a lead over Avila 21-6 halfway through the 3rd. And then, like I said, you've got our score at 52-8 with about 3.5 left in the 3rd. Tonight's games in the KCAC are going to be Kansas Wesleyan at Bethel and McPherson at Evangel.
Did I see that McPherson and Friends play each other later in the year?
I am sure guessing they are going to be, but when? I'm looking through the schedule here to see. It's a lot of people on the field for an injury, and that's not a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah, the staff on the Tabor side wandered over there about a minute ago, and
well, Friends plays at McPherson plays at Friends October 18th.
okay.
Oh, go help JJ. Go help JJ.
All right, we're going to see a replay of this so we can see what happened. So it's 65, and it looks like he maybe got rolled up on a little bit.
So
Yep.
probably looks like it's a knee injury, and that's Alex Carpenter from.
If you look on the right
no, I'm
side
sorry,
of the
that's-
screen here.
Oh yeah, I know it's not Doug Grider. He's the other 65. Well, I'm not.
Yeah, boy, I really don't see anything. He
was
went
definitely
down
that
right
right knee.
away, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not often we have this long of delays for injuries, and that's never a good sign. They haven't called the EMTs out, so that is good,
And
as
they're
he's getting
gonna-
up now, and just praying that he's okay and it's nothing major.
A little bit wobbly. Could have been a head or neck injury as well, but because he's not really limping. But yeah, we're glad he's okay. Never want to see anybody hurt. And now after a stoppage like that, gotta make sure everybody's got to make sure their head's on straight, and
That's
away
right.
we go. So Friends with the football here. They've got a 3rd and 3. Bingo will be under center. That's going to go right up the middle, and he's got it. First down right at the 50-yard line. That is Conley again.
He's tackled by Blue Jays number 99, Josiah Winans.
Well, Winans was in on that tackle, but like you said, didn't get it before the first down.
So 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line for the Falcons, and they would love to just let this clock run down, and they're not even calling a play until 10 seconds left in the play clock. We're down to 5 now, down to 2, and that's going to go option left. Tabor College all over that, as that was Jace Martin. Going to go to the left here, and
Sandoval on that tackle. A nice job filling that gap. Not the gap, filling the outside, coming up.
they've been doing a nice job of stringing those plays out, especially when they go to the short side of the field.
At the 49-yard line.
And that's a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11 back in Falcon territory at their own 49-yard line.
Well, Leia Tua and Gibbs have had their hands full tonight with this flex bone. It's really hard to focus and come down to help with that dive back because there's always that kid coming around the end.
That one up the middle. Blue Jays stop it there. We'll wait and see. I did not see who carried the football that time.
I think Wyans and Boone were in on that tackle.
All spotted at the Blue Jays 48-yard line.
It's going to be about a 3-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 8 for the Falcons. You're going to let this go all the way down where we'll be under a minute before they snap this one. You can see that play clock on the lower right-hand corner of your screen there that they're just not going to be much left on that. And looks like Dingle kept it here. He's going to stretch out but not make it.
Looks like Edwards is right there to help stop it. Once again, coming up from the safety's position.
Be about 3 yards short, so it'll be 4th and 3. I wonder if Friends even has a punter. I guess they have one listed, but he probably took off his cleats for the day, so they're going to go for it. 4th and 3. Blue Jays need to stop. Dingle under center here.
They're going to try and get him to jump. This is that time when you have to be disciplined.
Yeah, you wanna get that jump, but you also they're going to let it go.
We'll take the penalty and the play call. He must have called timeout.
Yeah, I don't see a flag.
Well, it's been a different half, definitely, for the Falcons and for the Blue Jays, but I also, a lot of those guys are not starters as well, so they've put in a lot of their backups. Can't risk an injury, too, as you go in. So you wonder if this has an effect, like as you get to postseason when you start playing those tougher games. Are the guys going to have enough endurance to get through a game? But you don't want to risk the injury in the same mode there.
Yeah, we were talking about that off air at halftime. You were talking about your career and just and I was talking about how I kind of purposely avoided physical contact because it just wears on you. Football is such a contact sport, and our last full year in South Dakota, we had an exchange student from France, and he loved football, but he wanted to be the kicker. He didn't want to be the he played one JV game, and he was so beat up after that he said, "I just want to kick."
That's it. We've had that several times here in Hillsboro too, where we've had a foreign exchange student that was just a kicker, and I think we've also had some others that have been very good.
Play a kick. Play a penalty. Play a game penalty against Friends has been accepted.
So it looks like they did take the penalty over the timeout.
That made me feel pretty good that he had to try that sentence 4 times before he got it right. It's not just me.
Yes. Well, when I check in officials at a high school football game, sometimes you get the ones that when I show them the mic, they're like, oh. And then other times they're used to it most of them are used to it quite a bit, but sometimes you get the ones that just like, they don't want to see the mic.
Right. So they did accept the delay of game penalty, so it'll be 4th and 8. And Friends University does, in fact, have a punter.
There it is.
We'll see him for the first time tonight.
Is that Tillman?
Let's see. Punter is Connor Tillman.
Well, I think the runner, have you been saying 17 is Tillman or Martin?
I don't know. Well, we haven't called it much either way.
Because I know Martin's been the one running it.
Yep.
So if we've said Tillman for running it, I apologize to the Martin family if you're listening.
So King calls for a fair catch at his own 14-yard line. Blue Jays will have it from there. Yeah, again, the way the lineups are just don't favor announcers at all. I mean, you listen to us and we complain a lot about this kind of thing, but it's true. They don't make the jerseys for the announcers. It's really hard to see sometimes. And these lineups, you get these lineups with 3 kids sometimes have the same number.
Same number, that's right. Sometimes they put an O or a D next to it so we can tell.
But it is not this day.
No. Appreciate Tabor for doing that because he does put an O or a D.
Stewart gives it off up the middle. There's flags all over the place.
A lot of hankies.
And Tabor College running back not giving up. I can't see who
I see
it
a face
was.
mask. That's Jones down.
It is Jones on the ground.
He was slung down, and I will tell you, flags flew from everywhere.
So they got him. So you're saying they got him by the face mask?
It looked like I saw a side official pulling on his face mask and like saying this is what the call is.
Let's take a look here. So Jones up the
There
middle.
it is.
Yeah.
And he threw him down like he was in a rodeo.
Yeah, helmet off to the side. So that'll be 15 yards for the Blue Jays here. But primary concern is Jones making sure he's all right here. So we'll have another stoppage. He is going to get up.
Coach Gardner going out to check on him too. You know, you're talking about numbers before you ever go to the dentist or one of those doctors that they have those little binoculars on their glasses.
Personal foul.
I
Face
thought
mask.
maybe that's what I need
96
for over
defense.
here, and then
15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
then I could have some binoculars to see closer too.
Well, I have, what do they call them? The progressive lenses that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a bifocal, but not, and I hate it. So you can have them if you
So
want.
probably not
Yeah.
something.
In fact, I'm probably going to take them back and change it. It's not what I thought it would be. At any rate, Jones comes off the field. Hopefully he's going to be all right. The Blue Jays will take the 15 yards. They'll be, it looks like, their own 29-yard line, 1st and 10 from there. Stewart, you're going to give it off to Collier off the left side, and same song, different verse, just nothing doing on the ground for the Blue Jays. They're going to lose quite a bit of yards.
Alamo just hung on and then threw him. Way too Calamo.
Looks like a 6-yard loss for the Blue Jays. So that total yards will take a hit, and the negative rushing yards will be added on as well. Stewart waiting for the play call here. Neither team really in much of a hurry. So I think, especially with the injuries, both teams just wanting this one to end right now. Stewart's going to get it, and play did not come off. We'll see what happened
We
here.
had a timeout by
Timeout.
Coach Gardner called a timeout.
Tabor. First of the half.
Well, if he wasn't happy about something or some personnel he wanted different, but
So first time out of the half for the Blue Jays. Got 13 minutes, 41 seconds left to go in this one. Blue Jays trail the Falcons 52-8.
you know, you could say the positive is Friends has not scored this half.
They have not scored this half, and Tabor has. You know, a little bit of different personnel and that sort of things. You did see in that third quarter a little bit more intensity from Tabor, and I imagine that you know Coach Gardner better than I do, but any of the coaches I had, if you'd have gone into the locker room down 52-0, you'd have had a little bit of motivation.
Well, you never want to hear the coach at a halftime like that because he's not going to be happy, and he probably shared that with them.
So 2nd and 16 now for the Blue Jays after the 6-yard loss on the run. Stewart claps out the cadence, puts it in the air, quick pass to King.
He hung on.
King hung on to that.
Oh, he's saying no. The official there is saying that the ball touched the ground, but he got hit. I'm not sure if that wasn't a head helmet or a contact to the head.
Well, and also I thought he got hit before he caught the ball, but that's really hard to tell.
Let's look at this again to see if we caught the action on this.
Yeah, we didn't get
kinda
to
missed.
see that, but yeah.
But he got hit, and now we got another player down, A.J. King. Yeah, I would question whether that was maybe a shot to the head as he was going down, but good thing to see him get up and walk off on his own power.
Coach Gardner having a chat with one of the officials.
I don't think they're talking about supper.
Probably not. Probably not. We go over and check on his player there. King shaking out the cobwebs, but it looks like he's going to be all right. Haven't seen Devin Jones yet to see how he's doing, but King over there leaves his helmet on the sideline. And he's having a chat with that same official as well. At any rate, we've got 3rd and 16 for the Blue Jays. Collier in the backfield now. Stewart going to drop back to pass. Has to get rid of it quickly. He's got Dozier, but pass out of bounds. Dozier was tightly covered. Might have had half a step. But ball goes out of bounds. It'll be 4th and 16 for the Blue Jays.
It was not a catchable ball, but he pretty much had to throw it off his back foot as he had a lot of pressure on him up the middle by the Friends defense coming at him.
I like the play call because at this point, what have you got to lose? Try to break something. I mean, it's been single coverage all night.
Hit a deep route, see if you can get something going that way.
And you can play single coverage when the quarterback has 2 seconds or left to get rid of it.
Yep.
Smith going to put an end-over-end punt.
And it's Lopez returning it back before he's chased out of bounds.
Friends kind of learned their lesson. They let one go. It bounced all the way down to the 20, and they haven't done that since. They've run up and caught it and gained quite a few yards there. It gets all the way to the 31-yard line.
And then before Dozier chased him out of bounds there to prevent anything else. We'll see what backfield mix Friends brings out this time. It's usually different every series.
Dingle is not coming out. So we'll see.
Looks like we got a third. Well, if that's Walker Overman, number 6, or is that?
Yeah, he is listed as a quarterback.
Yeah, number 6.
So that is Walker Overman. He is a freshman from Gunter, Texas. And I'm pretty confident that is Overman because he's listed at 5'6", and he's the shortest guy out there.
Yeah. Well, looking through the Friends roster, I think they've got a couple people from Gunter, Texas. I don't even know where that's at, besides Texas.
I was going to say it's south of here.
I deserve that. Well, looks like Winans is down now for the Blue Jays. That's not good. We've had, when you're down like this, towards the injuries do seem to happen more, whether you're lackadaisical, whether you're tired, there's all kinds of factors that come into it, but fourth quarter injuries seem to be more prominent.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a combination of those things, but really, at this level, you're between the years has to be working, and when you're down 52-8, I imagine that's more of a challenge.
Yeah.
And you just if you let that concentration go, things like this can happen. But
that's right. Well, Winans is a sophomore from Fairview, Oklahoma, and I'm pretty sure it's his brother that also plays for Tabor, and he's a freshman.
You have one.
Fairview, Oklahoma is another one of those towns that has brought some great players to Tabor. When I played, it was Scott Neufeld. He was an all-conference offensive lineman that was a senior when I was a freshman. And Fairview had some other good players during the early Gardner years as well. I was positive that ball was to the fullback there, the running back.
But Overman kept it, and again he's 5'6", and I'm enjoying this a little bit because I'm 5'7". But the fact remains that with all those players going in every different direction, he's tough to see. But he kept it and got up to the 24-yard line. It looks like it'll be 3rd and 3 for the Falcons. Clock's going to tick under 12 minutes before we get this one off. As Walker Overman, the freshman, will get under center. Sends a man in motion. He's going to keep it and pitch it to the right, and they'll have the first down and more. And being drugged out of bounds is number 10. That's
Millspaw. That's another Halstead product, a local one from our league here in town. So he's a freshman, not in town, I'm sorry, down the road. But I remember him in high school last year. He was a threat in high school. Really good running back from Halstead.
I wondered how you said that name so quickly until my eyes made it over to where he was from.
No, it was a very common name in our league because he was always someone you had to take into factor when you played Halstead, whether it was football or even basketball. He was a very good ball player.
Overman under center. He's going to give it right up the middle. That's 25 again. That is Cantu.
It looked like that was Patterson on the tackle.
Give him 3, maybe 4 yards. It'll go down to the 4-yard line. Be 2nd and goal from there. So give Cantu 4 yards on that carry.
Yeah.
Overman going to drop back to pass.
There's some pressure.
And popped up in the air. Overman was pressured by 47.
Seibel came in from the side. It's from Andover Central. It's down outside of Wichita. Got to visit with him a little bit before the season started.
So let's just put that in perspective for a second. We have 10 minutes, 37 seconds to go. The score's 52-8. That's the 3rd attempted pass by Friends University.
Well, if you think about it, though, that's not what they do best.
Right.
So usually when you're ahead like this, don't you work on the other parts of your game?
I guess. I don't know if that's what I'm doing on the 4-yard line, but that's why I'm up here. So Overman will take the snap under center. He's going to give it to the motion back, coming across, and not quite getting in is number 17, Jace Martin. Got down to the 1-yard line. Still a battle for the ball there, but marked just inside the 1.
Was that 28 on the tackle, Sterling Garton?
I thought it was 22.
Well, if it was 22, it was Winans.
Yep.
Well, that's another Fairview. That's another one again. So are there 3 of them here? That would mean there's a junior, a sophomore, and a freshman. Winans from Fairview.
So it's 4th down here. You've got Overman under center. You've got Evan Cantu in the backfield. And Overman is going to just lean in, all 5'6" of him. And that is a touchdown with 9 minutes, 43 seconds to go.
And now his friend's first score of this half. As their kicker, Boscher is in for the extra point.
Boscher's kick is up. It is good. He scored quite a few points here tonight as well. And your score with 9 minutes, 43 seconds to go. Friends University 59, Tabor College 8.
You know, if you look at some of the stats here for On the defensive side for Tabor, Dingle has been a leading tackler today. Actually, overall. I'm sorry. They have, when you put the stats in, they have number 11, Dingle, but it wouldn't be Dingle. It would be their defensive player, Garland. Garland has been their main defensive weapon. We've called his name a lot. On Tabor's side, as you've heard, it's been Daigle. I'm down for 9 tackles already with 1 solo. Sandoval, Pear, Holiday, and Edwards have all been other with a lot of tackles today. So
need to go talk to Mr. Dickinson over there that's doing the stats.
Yeah. Well, once again, that's the numbers where you don't put 11-0 or 11D.
King going to go over and take the kick. He catches it off his shoe tops at about the 7-yard line. Comes to the near side here. He's going to get across the 20. Looks like they're going to mark him at the 22-yard line. Tabor College will have it 1st and 10 from there with just over 9.5 minutes to go in this one. We can give Nash a little bit of grief. He's one of my favorite people. So.
Absolutely, a local guy from Hillsboro, lived in Newton too, but he can take the heat.
Yeah, absolutely he can.
He's now playing baseball for Tabor, so.
New quarterback in for the Blue Jays. This is Dozier on the near side. And you talk about those uniforms. He's got this one tucked under his shoulder pads. That is
Holden Key at the quarterback.
Yep. Key.
And Key he's a starter as a wide receiver, but now it's 16, or maybe that wasn't. It's 16. I take it back. So that's going to be, is it Tarrant? I'm going to have to read this pronunciation. Moniz Bab. Tirant Moniz Bab. Is that right?
I'm getting there. I got too many pieces of paper here.
Well, I think if I heard the PA guy say it right, he said Moniz Bab too, so.
Well, Nate would know.
He would. You know, I'm a little curious about Bailey, why he isn't playing. Is he even suited out, I guess would be my question.
That's a great question. I don't know that.
I haven't been looking at the sideline, so.
He did have stats last week. He had 2 attempts.
So was he someone who was hurt last week?
Moniz Bab's going to put it in the air, but nobody there.
I think the closest one there might have been Michael Reed, one of the offensive linemen. He just kind of looked at the ball like, I don't think I'm supposed to take that.
I'm looking down on the sideline for Tabor. I don't see number 15.
Well, I do now, I think, and he is not in shoulder pads. It's straight in front of us here.
Oh, yep. Yeah, he's off to the left-hand side there. You're right. All right, 2nd and 10 for the Blue Jays. Moniz Bab going to spin out to his left, puts it up in the air. A little bit too high for King. Pass incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Blue Jays.
Well, Moniz Bab is a redshirt freshman from Hawaii. Sometimes it's interesting to see some of these locations where they're from, like our long snappers from Japan.
Right.
How do they find out about a school in Kansas? There's some neat stories behind that, I'm sure.
Yeah, because a big part of the soccer team's from the UK, right?
I think so.
And I'd love to ask those guys. So Moniz Bab puts it up in the air. He was going for Safeman. Threw it too far, so it'll be 4th and 10. Blue Jays will have to punt. Yeah, there were a few of them up in the press box 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to ask them, what What brings you from the UK to central Kansas, or what brings you from Japan or Hawaii?
Yeah. You know, there's got to be a connection somewhere.
Right.
I don't think we're sending recruiting cards to every school in the world, but something connected them. That's pretty neat.
Smith gets off another punt, end over end. Going to be fair caught at about the 27-yard line. And that is Lopez with the fair catch.
He's caught a few punts today.
A few.
Friends will start out first and 10 from their own 28.
Yeah, we talked about Bosher. Bosher's had way too many kickoffs, 10 kickoffs. Lopez has had 6 punt returns.
How many times has Smith punted?
He's had 9 punts. That one might have been 10. I'm not sure if the stats have updated yet.
Overman going to hand off up the middle. That looks like it was Conley. And a flag coming in after the play. Be interested to see, because that was after the play and not even close to any of the players. So I'll be interested to see what that call is.
No foul on the play.
So the answer to that question is it wasn't. I would have loved to have been in on that conversation. Like, what did he even see? Because, I mean, that official wasn't 15 yards from anything, so had to be some sort of procedural thing he thought he saw, or maybe a substitution. At any rate,
Yeah.
Overman under center here. There's 2 receivers, something we haven't seen much today. That's going to go right up the middle, though. Nope, off to the right. Good grief.
I saw what you were watching.
Yeah.
And a lot of hankies got thrown on the field.
Yeah, that was Millspaw off to the right. Yep, some laundry on the field. Another conversation is the pace of this game has just come to a grinding halt in the past 10 minutes or so.
We got through the third quarter pretty fast.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Got penalty. First down.
We don't need any of those right now.
Well, I didn't see it, but with the, it's kind of the same as that last one on Friends where multiple officials threw their flag, so probably it was on the tackle.
Yeah.
So that'll move the ball past midfield to the 47-yard line of the Blue Jays.
And the clock keeps running.
Down under 7 minutes now is Walker Overman under center. Pulls it back, pitches it out near side. And that is 31 for Friends. That is Adam Cavallaro. He's a junior from El Dorado, Kansas.
I think it's the first time he's touched the ball tonight. And it's probably about the 8th or 9th back.
Don't see. Oh, there is a flag right on the 40-yard line.
Block in the back. Offense. Rushman spot the foul. Still first down.
I think one of these defensive backs really got nailed.
19.
I heard your reaction. I didn't see it. I thought, oh, something happened.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was really a block in the back or not, but it definitely is the block that's spraying him for another 10 to 15 yards.
Oh, I wish he wouldn't do that.
I think he's got his mic on still.
Yeah. All right, so pitch to the right-hand side. That's Connolly. It's like Connolly's going to gain a yard, give him 2 yards. Get a couple back after the penalty, so it'll be 2nd and 11. You know, 2 things have to happen there if I understand right. One, he's got to leave his mic on, but there's a button in the booth that has to be pushed too, right?
Not anymore.
Oh, well, that's good to know. So I was ready to go holler at somebody.
No, they'd have to hold that down the whole time, but that was actually taken out.
Well, of course, because I don't do that job anymore.
That's right.
So 2nd and 11. Again, Friends going to let this one wind down. It's 5 seconds on the play clock before they even step up to the line. Overman just gives it out. The ball is on the ground, and Tabor College is going to come up with it and return it a ways.
There we go.
Wait and see who that is. 38.
So that'd be Isaiah Bessaril.
Let's see here. 38.
He is a junior from Sanger, California. You look for the positives on a day like this, and that would be one of them. See him coming off there. Well, it'd be nice if our offense could get a score here before the game's out. And whether you call that respectable or not, I'm not sure, but a lot of laundry again on the field. But that was Christopher Warren. I think that's his first carry of the day.
Well, if nothing else, Moniz Babb has his jersey all the way down, so we can tell.
I wonder if they made him do that.
You got to figure.
Offsides.
Yeah.
Holding. 68. Offense. This penalty's offset. Your play first.
So offsides and holding, those penalties offset. So forget about the play. We'll do it over. Who was I watching? It must have been the Cowboys the other day, where one team had 4 penalties, the other had 1, and they were all offsetting because,
Really?
Yeah. Moniz Babb in the shotgun. He's been slinging it. He's going to put it up for Dozier. Wow. Nice catch on the near sideline. Nice
Beautiful catch by Dozier.
And that'll be a first down.
I don't think Moniz Babb needed to throw it quite that far away, but Dozier sure compensated for it. And
I don't know if the people at home can hear Nate Howard, but I mean, we're under 5 minutes to go. There's a 51-point difference, and Nate Howard is just going at it. I appreciate him. All right, Moniz Babb in the shotgun. He's going to give it off up the middle this time.
This is Warren again.
Just keep thinking maybe they'll catch him off guard, but there has been nothing up the middle all game long. No gain, 2nd and 10 for the Blue Jays at the 29-yard line of the Falcons.
Big Tyrone Jackson up the middle. Friends defense does some unique things with their front group and not let you know who is going to be down until it's almost the snap.
Choreographed dance going on here right now from Friends. Moniz Babb just going to take the ball and give it to Dozier across the middle, and that'll be another first down. Dozier feeding off of Nate Howard's energy here.
There's a replay of that. Dozier did a nice job and took a little hit down there. I'm glad he got up. Sometimes those hits to the legs can hurt.
Moniz Babb, you know, you see all of that movement going on in front of you, and he just went back to the old school recess and just said, "Hut," counted to 2 and threw it. And that's what he's going to do here. Almost
look
picked
at
off.
Felder's by Holden Key.
But Key is going to get into the end zone. My goodness, that's a 17-yard pass from Moniz Bab to Key.
Oh, Key was bobbling it, trying to, but he stayed focused. That ball was tipped, I think, right before it got to him. Let's see if here that camera picks that up on the replay. Had to throw it kind of sidearm. Yep, the Friends guy tipped it. But Key stayed focused.
And
Dozier's in the end zone saying touchdown before he's even there. He knew Key was going to make it.
kick is up and good. So with 2 minutes, 45 seconds to go, your score, Friends University 59, Tabor College 15. Yeah, that was going to be a touchdown one way or the other. If Friends had come away with it, there was nobody in front of him.
That's right. That was Lane Clark on that extra point kick. He's another one of those local guys just down the road in Heston. Well, we talked about getting a little sign of life here at the end.
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, your wheels are always turning, and you're just looking for something to build on. And there's been a few things here in the second half that Tabor College can kind of hang their heads on and look at as positives.
Yeah.
So Clark puts this one in the air. Going to be picked up at about the 12-yard line.
Oh.
By number 5, that's Cheatham.
I was going to say 51 there. Was that it? Pacheco? He came in and kind of cleaned that one up.
He did. So 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Friends will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 23. And looking to get a first down here, and then that'll do it. Have to run maybe one more play to get to the 2-minute warning and then get that first down, and that'll be it.
Right.
So this is going to go off the right side. That is number 10, Millspaw.
Looks like Pacheco and Reeves on that tackle for the Blue Jays. You know, another score around the league right now, Southwestern and Ottawa is very similar, 51-10 to start the fourth quarter. Bethany 34, Sterling 20, late in the fourth. St. Mary 34, Avila 12, midway through the fourth. So some big scores today in the KCAC.
That play was strung out to the right-hand side. They got it down to where the play clock wasn't a factor, so we'll go to the 2-minute warning. It'll be second down.
Oh,
That's me.
Yeah, today's been a big day in Hillsboro, honestly. We've got our arts and crafts fair today downtown, and we were helping out with our church youth group fundraiser this morning, and just packed. So many people down there.
Yeah, it's it makes me glad that I live on the east side of town so that it can be just over there and I can walk over there, and I mean it
should be ending here
in
just a few minutes, but some people who live closer also enjoy it because I've seen them selling parking for their backyard, and you can go home anytime you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, parking is a mess downtown right now, I can tell you that. But
yeah.
I'm curious to hear what the numbers will be. How many were there?
Overman under center. He gives it up the middle. That's 25 again. That's Cantu. And he gets close to, I think he got the first down. He did. And, we should be seeing victory formation here for the
Looks like Pacheco and then the Reimer on the tackle. Some of these guys are guys that haven't played as much yet either.
Far chain gang guy was taking a nap over there.
They're probably a little tired from the first half.
Yeah, they've got a workout. So no victory formation. Overman hands it off up the middle. Believe that's Cantu again. It is. He gets 9 yards. It'll be a 2nd and 1 for the Falcons here.
Down the Falcons 42-yard line.
Didn't quite see who made that tackle, but it's kind of a new group of Blue Jays up front.
Overman will go under center again, sends a man in motion. Overman's going to keep it, and he will scurry through for another Friends University first down.
Patterson almost got in the backfield and made the tackle before he could make his move.
Stop by the Blue Jays, number 28, Sterling Carter.
So this, by all accounts, should be the last play of the game. Overman under center. Sends a man in motion. He's going to pitch it to the right. That is Millspaw again.
But it went out of bounds.
Not sure why you run out of bounds, but he did. So I think you do that just to make the announcer be wrong one more time.
It also depends on how many people are listening to us.
Right. What was that ESPN show? Was it Pardon the Interruption where the guy at the end would tell them all of the mistakes that they made? Was that what it was?
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But they'd keep track.
That's funny.
So I'm glad that we don't have that. Overman getting
some finishes up, but they definitely, I watched some video of that. They have a powerful running back. So are these the best two teams in the conference that we've played back-to-back here? And if, we saw Bailey on the sideline, I'm not sure that would have had a big effect as little time as Stewart had.
Right.
I'm not sure whoever you had at quarterback, it would have mattered a lot. But how many starters are out, and what's the effect that's having on the Blue Jays right now?
Sure. So they go on the road next week. Where did you say they are next week?
Kansas Wesleyan.
Another ranked
opponent. Powerful opponent. They play tonight, so it'll be interesting to see. Friends plays at home next week with Evangel. So they will be there.
So we'll give you the recap of just the second half here. Not too much going on, but some positives for the Blue Jays. With 12 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the third quarter, Riley Bush was in on a recovered muffed punt, kind of changing the tide a little bit for the Blue Jays. So they got the ball with great field position on the 26-yard line of the Falcons. And shortly after that, Stewart had a 15-yard touchdown pass to Dozier. Point after was a doink for those of you John Madden fans off the upright, so 52-6. Then there was a fumble on one of the weirdest plays I've ever seen, where Dingle just kind of ran backwards, put the ball on the ground. The ball bounced around forever, pinballed, went off the pylon for a safety, so it was 52-8. In the fourth quarter then, with 9 minutes 43 seconds to go, Overman had a 1-yard touchdown run for the Falcons to make it 59-8. There was a fumble recovery by Becquerel and on the 44-yard line, and the Blue Jays were able to capitalize on that as well. With 2 minutes 45 seconds to go, Moniz Babb threw a 17-yard touchdown pass to Key. and that is your final score, 15-9. So, one of the positives is they did capitalize on turnovers.
They did, but they didn't make too many of them. So
that's right.
Some of the stats from today for the Blue Jays, Stewart was 13 of 20 for 63 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. They have this number wrong here. But we didn't have a lot of throwing. We threw a lot today, but not a lot of yards. Rushing, maybe I shouldn't talk too much about that today. But receptions-wise, Dozier was the leading receiver with 5 receptions, 42 yards. King, 4 with 16 yards. Obviously, Dozier had that touchdown to end the game. Or was that Holden Key?
He had the touchdown.
He had it. That stat's not in here yet. Actually, they each had one, I think. Wasn't that Dozier and Key that had the touchdowns?
The first touchdown was Dozier. The second one was Key. Yes.
That's right. So, on the Friends' offensive side, passing they threw 4 times. On running, Baker had 110 yards on 6 carries. Cordova, 83 on 10 carries. Each of them had 2 touchdowns. Rigsby, 74 yards. Lopez, 64 yards. And then they had a lot of other runners with about 10 to 30 yards. Receiving, they had 1 reception for 22 yards. Defensively, for the Blue Jays, tackle-wise, Dusty Daigle led the team with tackles, 9 tackles, 1 for loss. Luke Edwards, Camper, Seibel, there's a lot of them that had 2, 3, 4 tackles in there. For the Falcons defense, it was, I got to check the name because they have the number wrong, Garland. Garland was their leading tackler, along with Wallace and Bird and Conley. Just a very, like you said, we've talked about one-sided game, and Tabor's going to have to come out. Gardner will review film, look at things, and see how to change things up to fix it for next week.
Yep, that's the thing about sports, and one of my favorite things about sports is there's always next week. Around here you guys are all Chiefs fans, but up where I'm from, they're mostly Vikings fans, and that's kind of the mantra always of Vikings fans is there's always next week and there's always next year, although the Chiefs are 0-2.
That's right. Not after this weekend.
That's right. I'll take your word for it. All right. Anything else to add?
That's all I've got.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon. For Robert Rempel, I'm Jim Millman. Have a good day.